Hello everyone. In this lecture, we are going to learn the complete Python programming in the duration of 3 hours itself. We are going to cover all the topics in very less time. That is, within 3 hours, we are going to see the various concepts. First, let me tell what are the topics and what is the order I am going to cover them. Yes, these are the topics which is going to be covered in today's session. Firstly, we will see some of the basic Python programming, how print statement works, how to use the comments and all. Next, we will see how to take input from user. Then we will see the types of operators, basic string operations, and data structures in Python. Yeah, here one more topic is missing. Let me enter that one. Yeah, set is also one of the data structure. Here data structures does not mean like arrays, linked list and all. These are the things which we use to perform the actual data structures operations and all. So these four we will look first, and after those conditional statements, looping statements and the jumping statements also. Just let me mention them. Jumping statements. Then how to use functions in Python programming. There are two types. One is using the keyword def and one more is lambda. Lambda is for single line functions. Nextly, we will see the types of argument which we will pass in the functions. Then command line arguments. Nothing but from command prompt we will access and we will get the output there only instead of running in the Python file. Next comes is strings in advanced level. Here strings basically we will see because so that we can perform in some of the fields. But to explore the strings more and regular expressions, here again we will devise them. Once it is over, we will directly jump to the OOPS concept of Python, which is mostly important. And the applications we use in real-time scenarios also. And for data structures also, we will perform in linked list for creation of node and all we are going to do completely using OOPS concept. So once this OOPS concept is over, then followed by inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction we will discuss, and file handling. Yeah, before one more topic is exception handling. After this exception handling, then we will discuss file handling. With this, our main Python programming in 3 hours will end. So now let me open our Python IDLE. Actually, I am going to completely use this Jupyter notebook for just showing you how to save the file and how to perform. I have opened IDLE. Yeah, if it is not available in system, go to the previous video lectures and install the Python pip. And one more is our Jupyter notebook. These are mandatory to work with this complete session. I am going to use Jupyter Notebook only for this lecture in the Python playlist. The reason is that we can, since I am discussing on multiple topics, it will be very useful if I form notes, right? That's the reason I am going to use Jupyter Notebook. Yes, now coming to, let us start the basics of Python programming. Yeah, for output purpose, we will use the print statement. You know, Hello World is the first program in any of the programming language you will learn. Yes, you can see here itself output. In Python, one more advantage is that you can print the strings even in single quotes. Actually, in other programming languages like C, C++, and Java and all, the single quotes are used for only printing of character. But in Python programming language, Python is such an advanced programming language such that it can easily understand in the single quotes whether you have given the string or character. So, for example, yeah, variable I am initializing, let me say string. Yeah, in single quotes only, let me initialize as one of the character. To know the data type, in Python we are having a function called type. Type of a, if I'll print, yeah, it is showing class str. The reason is even though it is character, it will show as class str. For example, if I try to append, yes, you can see automatically the concatenation is performed. This is how characters and strings are different in Python. Within the single quotes only we can give both of them. Yes. Now coming to next thing is numbers. Let us give some numbers. A equals to 12, B equals to 13. Now simply let me say A plus B. Operators are same in all the programming languages. But in Python there are still more types than other programming languages. We can see those one by one. Let me say type of A. Yes. Int means integer. Since it is an integer, we got it as integer. Now let me say C equals to A plus B. C. Yes. You can see same it is printed, right? Here we are doing completely in shell. That's the reason if you have entered only the variable name, automatically it printed. But if while you are working with files, let me open a file. Yes. Here, for example, you are typing the code. A equals to 12, B equals to 13, C equals to A plus B. And here if you will say C, yeah, we need to save this file, right? Yes. The extension of Python files is .py. You need to give some name to this file. Let me say basics.py. Yes. For running it directly, click on run, then click on run module. See, you did not get any output. The reason is here we are working on shell. That's the reason easily identified and printed. But while working with the files, you need. Oh, shell is open. Just a second. Yes. Now in program itself, for example, here I am typing print of C. Now we will get the actual output. Control S for saving the file, or from here also you can save, not an issue. Click on run module, or F5 also you can click. See, now you got output. Previously there was no output. This is how we are going to work in ideally shell. Any program you want to enter in files like this, you can enter and you can save them. But as I have mentioned, we are going to learn the complete Python programming. I am going to explain everything in Jupyter Notebook. So just let me open the Jupyter Notebook. Yes, for opening Jupyter Notebook, go to command prompt, Jupyter space notebook. Yes. Now create a new notebook. Click on new Python 3 IPY kernel. Yes, new notebook is open. Yeah, for notebook extension is .ipynb, and let me name it as Python. Yes, these are known as cells. Code is used for normal purpose of code. Markdown is used for giving title. Raw is nothing but like a text file format. So first let me say it as markdown. Yes. Now let me say basics of Python. Basics of Python. Shift enter for running the cell, or from here also you can directly click on run. Yes. Now let me start coding part. Yes. Similarly, what we have performed here also again I am typing the same thing, so that we can move a bit faster, and for creating the notes it will be a easy technique. So let me do it as fast as possible. Yes, one more thing is that in Python programming for comment session, we will use a hashtag. In code session, if you use in Markdown, it will become the heading size. So here let me say print string using double quotes. Now print string using single quotes. Next, printing character. Print character. Print off. Let me say some C. Yes. For running, either you can click here run selected cell. Yes. You can see the output. Now one by one we will go faster. Now simply defining the variables. Yeah. Here I am going to print A and going to print type. Since it is an integer, we will get it as integer, guys. Yes, class int. Int is nothing but integer. Now, A is already defined, right? So let me do again, not an issue. A is 12, B is 13, print A plus B, comma. Yes, guys. In Python programming, if you want to print two different things on the same line, let me say here itself, first let me print A comma B, then let me print A plus B, then print type of A plus B. Yes, here you can see here comma is nothing but instead of printing in a separate line, you are going to print in the same line with a space. Here you can see between A and B there is space, right? That's the reason we use comma in the print statements. If you give that comma here, nothing but yes. Then just run it. Here you can see, right? Because here this comma has become one of the character in the string. If you use it outside the string, then it is nothing but provide the space between those two values. Either it can be an integer, string, floating value, or an irrespective of data type. And in next line, I have printed the sum, and then I have printed the type. Even the sum resultant is integer, right? That's the reason we got it as class int. Now how to take the floating values? Let me say some C equals to 15.6. Now let me print type of C, print A plus C, comma, type of A plus C. Yes, you can see type of C is floating, nothing but the decimal, and 15.6 plus 12 is 27.6. That's the reason, since it is decimal, you got it as class float. Yeah, now there is also one more possibility. You may get doubt that D equals to 3.0, nothing but 3 only, right? If you print, let me show you the difference. Yes, you will get it as it is as a floating value. So the type which you will get is also class float. Let me show print type of D. Yes, you can see it as class float. Yes. The advantage of Python programming is here you can also work with the complex numbers. You know that complex numbers are in the format of a plus ib, right, in general. But in Python programming, instead of I, we are going to use it as j. Nothing after the after the numeric value of b, we are going to represent it as j, not I in Python programming. Let me show you. Let me say some 3 plus 5j. print C comma type of C. Yes, C plus 5j is C and type of C is complex number, right? That's the reason class complex. This C is overridden by this C. That's the reason if I printed C, the latest one which I run, which cell I run will be the first output. That's the reason. Here I have modified the C value, so I am going to get that particular C value instead of this floating point value. Hope you understood. Now we are going to see the various operators in Python programming. Let me use Markdown. Types of operators. Yes, one by one we are going to see the operators. Again, let me say Markdown. First one is arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators. Yes, you can see by giving more hashtags in Markdown, the size is being reduced. Here itself, I will mention what are the operators also. Yes, coming to the types of arithmetic operators, there are addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Yes, these are one more is modulo for getting reminder. These five are common in all the programming languages. But in additionally Python we are having two more operators. One is exponential and one more is float division. We will see one by one, not an issue. Yes, coming to arithmetic operators. Let me take a equals to 7. Yeah, let me take with 5 so that I can explain the division of float division clearly. And b equals to 2. Let me print a plus b, a minus b, a into b, and a divided by b, and one more is a modulo b. Yes, these are the outputs. 5 plus 2, 7, 5 minus 2, 3, 5 into 2, 10. 5 by 2 is nothing but 2.5. Yes, this is the division and remainder. When 5 by 2, 2 twos are 4. 5 minus 4, 1 will be the remainder. So modulo is for remainder, not division. Remember that one, you will get remainder. Yes, here you have seen two new arithmetic operators, right? Yes, let me name them. Print of exponent. It is called as exponent actually. Yes, now I am providing space. Nothing but this completely will be printed as string. After string, I am going to print the value. What I am printing? A exponent of b. Here the output will be 5 square. 5 square is nothing but 5 into 5. 25 will be output. Yes, this is the purpose of exponent. Now coming to floor division is, yes, let me name it print of floor division. Yes, A by B. Yes, here you got the value is integer type. That's the usage of this A by B. The reason is that here if you perform simple division, you will get the quotient in decimals, right? But sometimes we will do round nearest rounding, right? So for up to decimal 0.5, nothing but up to 0.5, it will read the previous number. If it crosses 0.5, we'll get the next number. So for example, let me say, yes, for 6 by 10, we'll get 0.6, right? Let me perform it. 6 by 10. Yes, it is rounded to 0. Similarly, if I take 10 by 6, you can see floor division is 1. Just a second, let me connect charger. Yes, you can see it is rounded to 1. So, let me keep it as A, floor division B only. Yes, this is the complete arithmetic operators. Now we are going to see the next type of operator. Yes, again mark down. Now the second type is shift operators. In shift operators, there are only two operators. One is left shift and one more is right shift. It is nothing but shifting the bits, right? Hope you all know shift operators. Let me say A value as 5, B value as 2. Now let me say print left shift. Yes, in left shift for what I am performing A and B. Similarly, right shift. Yes, these are the left shift and right shift operators. And next, coming to the next type of operator, let me say bitwise operators. Yes, here the syntaxes will be different and with from other programming languages. The reason is here in bitwise, in other programming languages, you use it to represent with double time repetition, right? But in Python programming language, we will represent it with a single time. That is nothing but bitwise and bitwise or, and one more is this caret symbol for XOR. Like this, we will represent. These are the bitwise operators. Yes, let me perform. I am going to speed up in coding part here because it is similar to all the programming languages. And while discussing the individual topic wise, there I will explain you very much clearly how we are going to perform operations on all the bit values and all. So now here let me directly print A and B, A or B. One more is A caret B. Yes, here you got values, right? This is for bitwise and bitwise or and bitwise exclusive or nothing but XOR. Yes, now coming to the next type of operators, logical operators. Logical operators. Yes, in logical operators, there we use it to have similarly with ampersand symbol and this or symbol, right? But in Python programming, we will have directly in form of words. Nothing but for logical and we will type it as an or and one more is not. And one more thing is in conditional statements and all, in other programming languages, we use it to say if A greater than B and A greater than C, like that we will perform in other programming languages, right? It means that repetition of bitwise type. But in Python, we are going to not use such symbols. We will represent using this complete strings only, nothing but this complete words. The usual English which we speak, that one only we are going to keep in the conditional statements, logical operators and all. So let me perform for these two integers only, whether we will get output or not, A and B. You will get, yes. Here you, oh, sorry, actually this one in coding part I need to type. Yeah, since A and B values are already declared, here you can see A and B is nothing but here 2 I have got output. For example, if I keep or, I'll get 5. For suppose I am keeping not, yes, not can't be used in this case. Remember that one, because the reason is not is an unary operator, nothing but only for a single operand you can perform. That that's why logical operators are different working, and it is used in the conditional and looping statements and all. Yes. So let me keep it like that only. Yes. Next, coming to one more important topic, that is nothing but one more operators, that is nothing but relational operators. Relational operators. Those are same as similar to the other programming languages. Nothing but greater than or equals to, less than, comma, less than and equals to. Just a second, this cell is not run. Yes. And one more is for double equals, and one more is not equals to condition. Yes, these are the multiple comparison operators. And in Python programming, there is also one more different type of operator. Actually, this operator will not use in other cases, in any of the real-time scenarios. So, directly I am going to explain the remaining operators. Yeah, what will be the output of these relational operators if I run is, let me say A equals to some 3 and B equals to 5. If I print A of A greater than B, the output which I get is Boolean. Yeah, Booleans here are nothing but there are either true or false. Here you can see false. Is A greater than B? No, right? That's the reason it has printed false. Yeah, in other programming languages, we can represent the first letter of the Boolean with small letters, but this Python programming is very case sensitive. You need to use as this how it is. That's the reason here one is false and one more will be true. Let me print them. A greater than B, A less than B, all I'll print. Yes, you can see the outputs we got based on the conditions. Yes, now coming to the next type of operators is relational is over, and yes, now coming to the assignment operators. It is fifth type, right? Assignment operators. Yeah, this is the simple assignment. Assignment is nothing but equals to. Here you can see everywhere we perform the assignment operator. Here A equals to 5. What does it mean? In A place we are keeping 5. That is nothing but we are assigning the value of 5 to A. Assigning. That's the reason that operator is known as assignment operator. And still there are some of the names. This, yeah, this is nothing but incremental assignment we'll say, or assignment addition, and we can say similarly, yeah, we can link it to all the arithmetic operations. So that type is known as arithmetic assignment operations. Yes, like this we can perform all, and still what are left? Exponent equals to, yeah, for exponent either it will work or not. That also we will see. Floor division. Yes. Now let us see. For this only one variable is enough. Let me say a equals to 6. Yeah. Now I am going to print in a single line instead of taking multiple things. If I will do a plus equals to 3, or for suppose let me say a plus 3. Yes, it is invalid syntax. The reason is that here you can't use the assignment operator in the print statement. So now let me say a plus equals to 3 here, and let me print a and a plus 3. Yeah, here you can see a value is 9. The reason is if you perform simply a plus 3 means you will get 9 as value. But that 9 is again not stored in A in the simple arithmetic operations. But here what you are performing is you are incrementing and storing. Yes, let me tell you the difference. Print, let me print in separate line. Yes, print of A plus 3, then print A. Yeah, just let me remove it to avoid confusion. Yes, you can see 6 plus 3 is 9. So that is our output. But it did not store in A. That's the reason you got 6 here. When you are performing this A plus equals to 3, let me comment here. It is nothing but A equals to A plus 3 you need to perform. That representation is a shortcut representation. That so now it has incremented to 9 and stored in this A. That's the reason A value you got it as 9. Similarly, you can perform to all these operations one by one. So let me say A minus equals to 1 and A into equals to 5, let me say, so that we can perform division and all. A simple division equals to 2. Then A modulo equals to 2. A exponent equals to some 3. And A floor division equals to some again 2, let me say. Yes, here on performing all you will get the final result as 0. So just let me remove that one. If you remove the floor division, even though I am getting same. So not even in this step. In the some of the steps, somewhere we are getting it as wrong. So now let me remove both of these steps. Yes, when you perform the modulo operator, since it is 20, the remainder is 0. That's the reason you are getting continuously zeros. Let me click on Control Z. Yes. Here instead of 2, let me take odd number 3. Yes, now you got the value. This is the assignment operators. And coming to next, there are still 2 more types in this Python programming. Markdown. The sixth operator is yeah, identity operator. Operators. And in identity operators, we are having only 2 types. One is and one more is not is. Just let me perform A equals to 3, B equals to A. A, yes. Now just let me print of A is B. Yes, it is true, right? Because both the values are same. Similarly, how not is will work also we'll see. A not is B. Yes, here you got it as invalid syntax. Yes, sorry, it is not is not we'll say. Is not. That's the reason it has given as invalid syntax. Yes. The reason why you got false here is, here what this statement mean is A and B are not equal. Is that true? No, right? It is false. That's the reason you are getting it as false. This is how identity operators work, but we will use very less in our programming also. But now this next type which I am discussing now, this name is membership operators. These are very much important because in most of the programs we are going to use these operators. Membership operators. Again, these are also two types. One is in, one more is not in. Yeah, for this often not only in will come. That's the reason I have confused for identity operators. Then is and is not, here in and not in. Yes. For this, how it works is, here let me consider a list in Python. For list, we'll use these brackets. It is similar to array, but directly we can't say it as an array. While discussing the list topic, we'll come across what is a list and all. Yes, but for now, for your clear understanding, print 3 in L. Since 3 is present in the list L, you got it as true. But similarly, if you perform not in, you will get false because 3 is present in L. Now let me say some 5. You got it as true because you are saying 5 is not in L. That is the correct statement. That's the reason you are getting true. Let me print the previous one. Print 3 in L. Yes. These are the membership operators. So once again, let me show you all the types of operators from starting what we have covered. Arithmetic, shift, bitwise, logical, relational, assignment, identity and membership operators. Yes, that's all with this. All the operators are covered and there is one more operator, unary operator. And the unary operator is nothing but this. Uh, yes. This is the symbol we will represent for it. Actually, it is the complement operator. Yes, just keep mark down. Eighth type, unary operators. Unary operators are nothing but we are going to use a single operand. That's the reason those are called as unary operators. And it is of three types. One is this one and one more is unary plus and unary minus. Yes. Now let me print. Yes. Let me take some value for a equals to 3. Always you need not take a because once you have taken in any of the cell, you can use throughout the complete notebook. The reason why I am typing always is I want to make it as a clear notes and I will give the link for accessing this document in the description of video so that even you can understand clearly and you can read faster when comparing to videos also. So you are printing A and also print complement of A. This is known as complement operator. Let me name it because this is the new type. Negation is complement operator. This is the comment line. Yeah, commenting even here also you can do. This will up to here it will be fine. So from where you have used the hashtag will be treated as comment. Remember that one. Yes, let me run it. Yes, complement of 3 is -4. So these are the complete 8 types of operators in Python programming. So now what's the next topic we are going to see? Yeah, actually firstly I need to say about input. So no, not an issue. Let me say now. I'm closing ideally because it is not required now. Yes. Now we will see how to take input in Python programming. Actually, it should be top of operators. So here, yeah, if you want to add a cell in middle, here there is the once you click on cell here corner, you can see right. From there you can see right. Insert cell below, insert cell above. Since I want to discuss before operators, it should be above operators and below these basic things. So here you got right. Let me add two more cells. Yes, two, three. Yeah, three cells are enough for now. And this one, let me say markdown input in Python. Yes, for taking input, there is only a single technique we are having as input function. And for output, we'll say print. Yes, input in Python. Now let me say A equals to input. Yes, just let me say input. And one more is B equals to int of input. Yes. Now for output, we are using the print statement. So here itself, let me say input and output in Python. For input, we are having input function. For output, we will have print statements. Yeah, here what I am going to print? I am going to print A, B, type of A, comma, type of B. The reason why I have mentioned here only input and here int of input is any input which you will take in Python by default it is a string. Remember that one, it is a string. So if you want integer, I am using int of input. If you want some decimal value, instead of int, you need to place it as float. So now just let me run it. Yeah. Now it is expecting some output. Let me say Balu. Yes. In second line, you need to pass an integer value only. Let me say 45. Here you can see first string is printed 45 and A is string and 45 is integer. Now again let me run this cell. Yes. Now for purpose of input, here let me say 12. Yes. Now here let me say let me give some characters. If you will click on enter, you will get error. Yes, value error. Here for 12 it is not showing error guys. Remember that one because anything you give it will convert it to string. That's the usage of input. But here you are asking only integer type to be input. But you are passing string. That's the reason you got value error. Now let me enter the correct one. Yes, now you got correctly, right? Yes. Now one more technique how to use the input is here you may confuse since here it is only two lines nothing but here only I am yeah directly here you can you are typing because you know but when users are when you are building an application how a user should understand what I need to give input. Mostly this problem occurs while working with date of birth and all, or some academic years and all. So how to solve it is, here you are asking, right, a equals to input, enter name. Yes. Now b equals to int of input, enter age. Now, yes. Now let me also print them. Yes. Now here you can see previously we got empty boxes. If you, since you are writing the code, you know what to do. But in application, how users can know? So by seeing this, they can understand. Yeah, enter name. My name is Balu, so I am entering it. And age 20. Yes. Now you can see how the difference is and how we can use in application for taking input. This is the way we take input and output in Python. For input we are having only input function, and for output we are having only print function. This is the input and output in Python. Yes, now coming to the next topics, what we need to cover is, yeah, basics of strings we are going to see. Yes, let me keep it as markdown. Strings basics. Yes, now we are going to perform operations on strings. Yes, now coming to the string basics, let me say a equals to b equals to, let us consider a random string. Hello. Yes. Now let me print a comma b comma a comma b. What will be the output is 2 times hello, 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 a, b will be our output. Yes, how it came is, this is known as multiple assignment in Python programming, because uh, in other programming languages we'll write some program like int or something, right? Int a equals to 20. Again, if you want to give the same value for another, you will give again b equals to a, and again c equals to a or b, or again you will write multiple times, right? Instead of avoiding those, directly if you will keep like this also, Python programming supports. Yes. Now if you will print a comma b, it will be, yes, actually we are discussing strings, so no need of this multiple assignment. Yes, you can see here, right? To A stores hello, B stores hello. Here we are not printing the variables, we are printing the characters A and B. That's the reason here you got A and B instead of getting two more hellos. And now coming to the concatenation part, if you'll say here A plus B, you will get 2 times hello. It is nothing but concatenation. For suppose A into 3, if I'll do, you will get 3 times hello. You can't perform A into B, you will get type error. If you will perform, it is nothing but A is hello, right? So you make it 3 times and concatenate with A itself. That's the reason you will get 3 times hello. But actually it is not stored in A. If you will print A, you will get a single hello. This is the difference. And concatenation in Python programming. Now let us understand the spaces between them. Yes, printing A comma B. Here you can see you got a simple space. Now print A comma comma B. Yes, here itself, let me write multiple codings. Control C. Just let me delete this cell. Yes, one more type is printing A comma. Yes, A slash n B. Yes, here you can see we got error, right? The reason is, just a second, unexpected character after line continuation. Yes, here you need to just avoid it. Yes, the reason is if you are using slash n outside the string, you can't use those skipping characters. So for that, you need to make it in double quotes. Let me say A comma slash n comma B. Now here you can see this is the normal single space which we have given. Here you will get one space here, this is one space and this is one space. So totally three spaces you will get here in second line. You can see 1, 2, 3. Yes. Now here you are printing in different lines. First A will be printed, slash n means goes to next line, and you are printing B. Similarly, we are having one more also print. Now let me directly take strings here. Hi slash T value. Yeah, slash T is used for indicating the tab space. Tab space is equals to three spaces. But here it is more actually. But in general, we'll say it as only three space gap. Yes. This is how. Yes. Here, just let me comment it. Three spaces. New line. And one more is tab space. Tab space. Yeah. For this first one, let me say it as simple space. Yes. Now coming to next concept, we are also having raw strings. What's the usage of raw strings is, raw strings does not allow the escape characters, the skipping characters. Nothing but here you can see this slash t is performed, right? But in general, to avoid it, we'll call it as raw strings actually. Uh, yes, let me keep it as markdown. Raw string. Yes. For raw string in print statement, we'll use R as the first thing, and after R, you are not allowed to keep comma. Here you are going to represent something. Let me say again hi slash T Balu. Yes. Here you can see slash T is also printed as a character. That's the use performance of raw string. Let me enter it. It does not support escape characters. Escape characters are treated as characters in a string. Yes, this is the raw string, and there is also one more type of string. It is known as multi-line string. Markdown. Okay. Yes. Multi-line string. Yes. For multi-line string, we use three single quotes we'll use. That is nothing but we'll start something and in one of the line we'll mention like this. Yes. Now how it works is, let me show you. Print of this. Oh, just a second. Three single quotes. This session is Python programming in 3 hours. Now again with three single quotes I have closed it. Now you can see output. Similarly it is printing. This session is Python programming in 3 hours. This is the usage of multi-line string. These are some of the basic operations which we perform on strings, but there are more operations on strings. Here we will discuss the strings in advanced level operations and regular expressions once we cover all these topics. Yes, now basics of strings is over. Now coming to next topic is lists. Yeah, list is one of the data structure. Let me keep it as markdown. Lists in Python. Yes, let us see some of the theory related to it. Since I am telling it as theory, we know we are actually not required to use as headings and all. Let me say it as simply raw. Raw is nothing but simply like a text file format. Here we will discuss point by point. List represented using the square brackets. And second thing is elements are separated using this comma operator, and it is the collection of different data types. Collection of different data types. Yes, and it has indexing, and index begins with 0. With 0 to n minus 1, where n is number of elements in the list. Yes. Now one more thing is that in in this list duplicates are allowed. Yeah, in list tuple and dictionary completely duplicates are allowed, but whereas in sets the duplicates are not allowed. Here we can see one by one how to declare empty list, how to insert elements, how to delete elements and all. Yes, duplicates are allowed. And one more, the most important thing with the list is it is mutable. Mutable. Yeah, what does mutable means? We can modify or we can change, we can alter the list completely. Yes, these are the features of lists. Yes. Now, how to declare a empty list? Yes, empty list representation. Here you can see, right? I'm giving, yeah, only you need to use the square brackets. Square brackets are used to represent list. If you type print of L comma type of L. Yeah, for list it will give as class list. Here you can see since it is empty list is printed. Now let us perform some of the operations and how to access the elements and all. Let me take 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma. Yes. Before performing some of the operations, let me take it as different data types. By I can say true is one of the boolean type, false is one of the boolean type, and still let me say hello. Let me say some 5. Let me say some 99. Yes. This is our original list actually. So just let me print it. Yes. Here you can see our complete list is printed and we can't perform some most operations because the reason is uh, yeah, most operations I'm saying the reason is we can perform the addition operation, multiplication and all in case of normal when we use all the numeric and all there we can see. But here I am going to show how to access the indexes and all. Print L of 0. L of 0 means you will get as 1. Yeah. Now how to, yeah, here means you can count directly the length of list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Totally 9 elements, so list is 9. If there will be some thousands of elements, will you start counting from 1 to so on? No, right? So that's the reason we are having one of the function. Yes. Let me say mark down length length of list. Yeah, for length of list, we are having the function is len of L. Even for string also you can use. Just let me show here. Yeah, string basics I have told right. Here itself, let me show one thing. Print len of A. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, len is used for printing the length of any of the data type. Either it can be string, list, dictionary, tuple, set, and anything. Yeah, since 9 elements, you got length of list as 9. Yeah, here you are accessing as 0. Totally 9 elements. What happens if you give other than that one? List index out of range. Because for n elements, indexing is possible 0 to n minus 1. So if you will give as 8, you will get as 99. Yes. Now let us see one more also. Yeah, from some specific range I want the elements. Print L of from index 1 onwards I want all elements. We will represent it like this. This is the starting index and this is the ending minus 1. Yes, you got all. That's the reason you got from index 1. 1 is not printed if you will observe carefully. For suppose, yeah, this thing is known as, this concept is known as slicing. Slicing in list. In list I have mentioned is the reason we can also perform the slicing operations in strings. All those operations we will see while we are discussing the strings concept. Yes. Now I want all elements but up to the index 3 I want. Then you need to give it as 4. The reason why I will tell. Here you can see 0, 1, 2, 3. Up to the third index only it printed because the starting parameter what you will give it begins exactly from there. Nothing but I have given 1. So from index 1 onwards it starts. Here I said to end at 4. It is nothing but it will not include the fourth one. Nothing but it does not include the fourth index. Only 0, 1, 2, 3. Up to the third index only it accepts. That's the reason it is like that. Now let me take some specific range. Let me say from index 3, nothing but here 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 means I should give it as 7 if I want 6 also means. Yes, you can see index 3, 4, 5 and 6 are printed. So that's the difference between this one and the previous one. Now, how to reverse a list? Markdown, reversing a list. Yes, in reversing also there are different types. Now let me consider a new variable a equals to L double colon minus 1. What does it mean? Means this is this, yeah, this is used to reverse. Nothing but entire list is going to be reversed. For example, if you want to do a string is palindrome or not, list is palindrome or not, you can perform this operation. Now, if you will print A, you will get the list L in reverse order. You can see, right? Completely it is reversed. This is the one technique of reversing a list. There are also other technique. L dot reverse. Now print of L. Yes. Dot reverse. Yeah. Here in some functions you will use as in place equals to true to affect the original list or original function. But here by calling the reverse function itself, the complete list is reversed. It means that this function affects the original list L. This is the second technique of reversing a list. So these are the two techniques of reversing a list. Now we are going to see one of the operations like list assignment and all. Yes. Now let me consider x comma y equals to, let me give some values 12 comma 34. Now if you will print x, you will get the value as 12 and for y you will get as 34. This is known as one of the list assignment. Yes, just let me name it. Markdown list assignment. Yes, yes. Now one more type of assignment also we are going to see. Since I am saying list assignment, name it in this format only. Let me say XYZ, WXYZ. Yes, here 4 I have taken. Now, yes, this is used for dictionary as well as set. But here let me consider set. Now let me print them. Print of W comma X comma Y comma Z. Yeah, you did not got same order, right? Here for X you have given 12, you got 12, for Y 34, 34. Because list is the ordered data structure. Let me name, yeah, let me include here also. It is ordered. It means that it will cover indexing wise. Since this RHS one is a set is an unordered data structure. That's the reason you got the values randomly. Now again if I'll run it, if you run some more times, the values will be coming differently. That's the reason it is actually used in less cases. And you know where the sets are used, right? For classifications and all, there we use the sets concept. This is the list assignment. Now coming to one more is, let us see basic list operations. Yeah, now we are considering the only numeric elements in the list. So let me say it as basic operations on list. Yes, here one by one we will see. Let me consider elements 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5. Yes, now just a second, with two lists we will consider. Let me say L1, L2 equals to 6 comma 7 comma 8 comma 9 comma 10. Yes, now just we are performing the concatenation. L3 equals to L1 plus L2. What might be the output? Yes, it will perform concatenation. Don't think that 1 plus 6, 7, 7 plus 2, 9, 8 plus 3, 11, 9 plus 4, 13, 10 plus 5, 15. No, actually it does not perform like that. It will do the concatenation process. And one by one we will see. Just let me name them. Let me name it as concatenation of two lists. Yes. Now, second thing what I am going to perform is length of a list. As we have seen in the above code, same. Let me say print of len of L3. The output will be 10 since the length of the resultant list L3 is 10. Now, again, let me keep it as raw. Yeah. Now, getting the maximum and minimum values of a list. Yes, we are having the predefined functions for getting max value. We will say it as max of list we are passing, and similarly for minimum we will use the function min. Yes, here you can see the maximum value is 10 and minimum value is 1. This is how it works. Oh, just a second, I did not run it. Yes. Okay, I have kept as markdown, right? Okay, let me keep it also as markdown. Okay, maximum and minimum values of a list. Yes, now coming to one more thing is that whether the element is existing or not. Element existence. Let me keep it as markdown. We will use here the membership operators as we have discussed while discussing them. Yes, 3 in L. Oh, just a second. I need to use them in print statements. Print 3 in L, print 3 not in L. Here you can see, right, since 3 in L, we got a as true, and 3 not in L we are saying, but actually it is existing in our L. Oh, sorry, L is our older list name. Let me say it as L3 only. Yes, 3 is present in L3, but here we are saying it is not present. So that is false. That's the reason we got it as false. Yeah, still what operations we can perform are, yes. Now one more concept is there. All versus any. All versus any is nothing but if in your L, let me consider 0, 0 comma 1 comma 2 comma 3, let me say. Yeah. Now if I am printing all of L, yes, here all of L will return true if all are true. Here we are having one of the false. Yeah. Boolean, according to the Boolean's theory, if 0 is false and 1 is true. Here we'll get true if there is no 0 at all. But we'll get false since 0 is existing in the list. Similarly, print any. In simple terms, if I want to explain, it is nothing but if 0 is there in the case of all, it will be 0 itself, nothing but false. Any means if at least one, all are zeros and at least one positive number is present, it will return true. Yes, since we are having three values, we will get as true for this second case. Yes, here you can see. This is all what just telling. Yeah. Now one more important operation is string to list. String to list. Yes, how to convert a string to list? Let me say some randomly x is equals to list is a function which can convert the any parameter we pass inside it as a list. Nothing but here let me pass a string. Yes. Now in second line let me print the new list that is nothing but x. Yeah, even those comma and the spaces are also treated as characters if you observe carefully. This is how we convert the strings to list and vice versa is also possible. Yeah, now one more thing is that sorting a list. Next concept. Only in list we'll see all those operations because list is a huge topic comparing to the remaining data structures. Now let me consider some random 23, 35. Just a second, underscores are coming. Yes. Actually, it is in markdown. Let me keep it in code. Yes. Now pass some of the random values. Yes. Now how to sort it? There is a function in Python l dot sort print of l. Yeah, it will print in ascending order l dot sort. But if you want in the descending order, simply say l dot sort of. You need to pass the parameter reverse. Reverse equals to true. Now if you will print, it will be in the descending order. By default, it will be in ascending. If you will pass the parameters as reverse, then you reverse equals to true, then you will get in descending order. There is also one more approach that is known as sorted. Let me say, yeah, for that sorted, if you want to store in some new variable, let me say some L4 equals to sorted of L. Yeah, actually this L4 will also give you in ascending order. Let me check whether the reverse parameter is accepted or not. Reverse equals to true. Yes, reverse parameter is also supported in the function called sorted. That's the difference between the sort and sorted. Sort will affect the original list, whereas sorted is not affected. Let me remove this actually so that again I will print L so that your doubt will be clarified. Sort function is used to affect the original list, whereas the sorted function does not affect the original list. Instead, it will just follow that sorted manner and it stores in some third variable. Sorry, the second variable. This is how the sorting is performed. Let me name it. Yes, here let me keep it as markdown. Sorting a list. Yes. Now coming to the next topic is nested list. Yeah, there are also still more concepts. So now let me speed up because now itself approximately 1.5 hours is going to be complete. Still, we need to discuss these many topics, and OOPS concept is a largest and most important topic. So for this topic, at least I need 1 hour time. So all these concepts we are going to finish it in 40 minutes. So just let me go back. Now I am going to teach somewhat faster. Don't worry because now I am teaching this complete video lecture so that you can easily understand data science and machine learning. And during the summer vacation, we will plan this each and individual topic in lengthy and slow manner. We can understand all of them. Yes. Now coming to the next concept is nested list. Nested list. Yeah. What the nested list is, a list within a list is known as nested list. How you represent is L is 1, 2, 3, and here again I am using one more list. Let me say 3, comma 4, comma 6, comma 5. Yes, one more. Yes. This is how you represent the nested lists. Let me proceed further. Yes. This is our list L. Now you may get the question to print high. Yes. Now for general, for suppose if they ask you to print the element 245 or only Balu, how you print generally? Print of L of what is the index? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, don't count this complete as individual. It is completely one of the data type. So 1, 2, 3. This complete thing is 4, 5, 6. Totally 6 means the index is 5. L of 5 will give me Balu. Now similarly, if I want to print high, what I will do? 0, 1, 2, 3. It is at index 3. So should I give only as L of 3? No, it will not give the correct output because this complete thing is treated as one of the element. So in this, if I want, how will I access? Again, in this, you need to do indexing. 0, 3, 1 is 4, 2 is 6, 3 is high. So here again, you need to give it as 3. Now you got I. This is how we will access the elements in the nested list. Yes. Next concept is, yeah, now this is one of the important concepts. So let me use the hashtags in Markdown. Yes. List comprehension. Let me give 4 hashtags. Yes. List comprehension. This topic is very simple. In single line, we are going to uh, declare our list actually. Yeah. For I in range. Yeah, don't confuse because you need to understand the looping concepts actually. Actually, for this course, I have planned them once these concepts are over. So I'll explain you anyhow. Don't get confused. For I in range of 1 comma 6. Yes. What this line of code will perform is just let me print so that you can understand directly without my explanation also. Sorry, I want to print L, not type of L. Yes, here you can see these are the squares. Now first let me explain what I am performing in this for loop. for I in range. This is a for loop declaration actually. You know, from all the programming languages, we'll say for I equals to 0, semicolon, I less than 10, semicolon, I plus plus and all. Yes, similarly, we are performing 1, 6. Yeah, we are beginning with the number 1 and up to 6 means here what you have seen during the slicing operations, it will perform up to 5. Similarly, here the values are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What we are saying, I square. First one will be 1 square is 1. It is stored in the list only. Again 2 will come. 2 square 4, 3 square 9, 4 square 16, 5 square 25. Now end of for loop. This is how the list comprehension is. Hope you understood. Yes. In other programming languages means here firstly we will say the initialization part. Nothing but I equals to 0 or I equal to 1. Similarly, in range we will give. Yeah, and up to where you want. The condition less than or greater than something. Yeah, and by default it will go increment by 1. That's the reason 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares you have got. Now, if you want in reverse order, so let me say I equals to 5. From 5, 4, 3 to 1 I want. Here what I am performing? Yeah, you got empty list. The reason also I will explain why. Because you want in decrement order, right? So here you need to give third parameter as -1. By default, it will be +1, nothing but increment by 1. Here you are performing decrement by 1. So here you can see, yeah, here this is the starting index. Nothing but for 5 it will perform 5 square, 4 square, 3 square, 2 square. And this last one will not be performed. If you want 1 square also, then here you need to keep 0. That's how the second parameter will decide, guys. Remember that one. Yes, this is how the list comprehension is. Oh, time is going so much faster. Yeah, now the next concept is enumeration function in list. Just let me mark down. Yes, here for this list only we will perform. This is my L, right? For this, how we are going to perform enumeration is print of list of enumerate of what is our original list L, right? Yes. Here you can see 0 comma 25, 1 comma 16. Nothing but it will map with the indexes 0 comma 25, 1 comma 16, 2 comma 9, 3 comma 4, 4 comma 1 and so on. Here what happens if we won't give list? Let me show you. Here you need to remove one of the brackets. Yes, here also you need to remove. Done it. See, you got something enumerate object at something, right? That's why you are using list for enumeration. Print of list of enumerate of L. Yes, with indexing the elements are mapped. This is the list enumeration. Coming to next concept is insertion and deletion from a list. This is the most and most important topic. That's why I am giving a big size. Insertion and deletion in a list. Yes. Now how we are going to perform? Let me consider again a new list 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5. This is our list, guys, actually. Now how to perform insertion? For performing insertion there are two methods used. One is insert using append. Yes. Now L dot append I am saying. What element you want to append? Let me say 6. Yeah, this append function adds the element at the end of the list. So for every case we will print list also so that you can observe changes. Yes, you can see, right? This is our original list. Appending. Appending means adding. We are adding to something. Nothing but at the end we are going to add. That's the meaning of this append. But for suppose if you want to add in a middle of list or at the starting of list or at some specific position, how to add? For that we are using the function called insert. Insert is the function. So how you are going to perform is L dot insert. Yeah, in this insert you need to pass two parameters, guys. The first parameter is index and the second parameter will be the element you want to insert at the beginning. Let me print L. Yes. Yes, here you can see, right, at position 0, I am going to insert the element 0. That's the meaning of this insert function. The first parameter is indexing and second parameter is element. Yeah, and don't think that this original one is affected here. For suppose you want to modify, that's the reason this list is said to be mutable, nothing but we can change. Here let me say L of 0 equals to -1. This is nothing but we are replacing this 0 with -1 and I am going to print it. Yes, you can see this is how modified. Let me again perform insertion. Insert at position 0, nothing but at starting. No, not at starting. Now let me take somewhere. This is 0, 1, 2, right? At 2 only let me keep some 15. Now let me print it. Yes, you can see at index 2 we got 15 and remaining elements all incremented index value with 1. This is how it works. And reversing a list and all those concepts you have seen, right? This is the insertion part. Yes, now the most important topic is regarding deletion. Now how do you delete? Delete, delete using pop. Yes. Now L is our list, right? L dot pop is the function I am using. If yes, if you use a simple pop, then it is going to remove this last element. So let me print it. Print of L. Yes, you can see 6 is removed. Now let me delete the starting element. Yeah, how do you access with index as 0, right? Now -1 will be removed. Yes, you can see. Yes. Now suppose I want to remove 15. L dot pop of 1. There is also dot delete function, but since with pop all operations are working fine, we'll use only the pop function. Now 15 will be deleted. Yeah. Wait just a second. This pop removed the last element and printed. Okay. Yes, the reason is if you run multiple times, here it is not similar to the above codes, it will continuously popping. Now just let me run so that this is my L value, right? Yes, this is the original operation. Firstly, pop is performed. Yeah, 6 is removed in the first case. Now I am removing the first, nothing but -1 will be removed. You got this one. Now you are going to remove the first index one, nothing but 15. 15 is removed and this is our output. The reason why I got wrong output is now The original L is this one, guys. 1 to 5 is the original list. And if you will perform again, if you will run this cell, the operation is not going to perform on this list. Actually, it will perform on this list. That's the reason you will get error. So, to avoid error, I'll again run this cell, and again you run this cell so that you will get the correct output. That's the reason while working with this multiple cells running, you need to be you need to be so much careful. Yeah. Now coming to one more concept is how to extend the list extension. Markdown extending list. Yes. To extend list, consider L1 equals to 1 comma 2 comma 3 and L2 equals to 4 comma 5. Here extending means either you can perform simply L1 plus L2, but there you have stored in L3. But here how can you perform is L1 plus equals to L2 you can do. That is one approach. Print of L1. Now again, for suppose I want to add again L1 to it. How you perform is L1 dot extend. Extend is the function of L2. Nothing but this is our L1 actually. Again 4 comma 5 will be added to L1. As it supports duplicates, it will be 2 times replication. This is how we extend list. Now we have came to the ending of this list concept. There are only two concepts left over. One is actually in lists. It is a biggest data structure in the four of the data structures in Python. Nothing but list tuple dictionary set. If we keep on doing lists, takes so much time. So now I am skipping some of the part because we need to cover all within the 3 hours. And I am promising that in this summer vacation, on each concept we will be having nearly 1 to 2 hours lectures and all. You need not worry regarding it. Yes. Only the main part I am explaining, not even the programs like palindrome, prime or compost, LCM, GCD, factorial, recursion. There are various concepts. So since I want to cover them in less time so that we can start the machine learning and data analysis, by keeping that in the mind only, I am only teaching the main part which is required, but we can discuss them individually in this Python playlist itself. But this video is the certification course also. So now I am skipping and directly we are seeing how to take the list as an input and all. Yes. Now, if you see the coding questions, they will say as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to take as input in an array. But in Python, we'll use it, we'll do it using the list. How actually we perform is, let me name it list input. Yes. How we'll take is there are by making use of the map function we are going to do actually. Let me name it L equals to. Since we want in list format, I am naming it as list. I am mapping. What I am mapping? We want them in integer type and yes, input dot split. What input dot split performs also I'll explain. Just watch it. Print of A. Sorry, print of L. Yes. Now just give space and type some of the elements. You will get it as 1, 2, 3, 4, comma 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the list. The reason is input. Nothing but this completely is in string format initially. 1 to 5 is in a string format and you are splitting. Yes. what is split operations is performed is it splits by default as a space it will split. If you want to give comma, that also I'll explain in this cell actually. Yes, you are splitting based on space. But what with what type you want to map? You want them as integers, but they are initially in characters. So you will transform those characters to integers, nothing but 1 to 5. And in what you are keeping them, in list you are keeping those elements. That's the reason you got like this. Now let me perform one more time. Just copy this two lines, control C. Yes, here for suppose I am not interested in giving space, I'll give comma. Then you need to separate, right? So there is a parameter called SCP, nothing but separation, equals to here you need to give how you are separating them, and separating by providing space. So here one, sorry, by default it is space, right? Separating by using comma, 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4. Cell not executed due to pending input. Just a second. Yes, actually it is not working in this Jupyter notebook, but you can try either in Ideally or Google Colab. It works fine. I don't know why this Jupyter notebook is not supporting this actually. But if you will pass input as for suppose 5 comma 10 comma 15 comma 20, just yes, yeah, okay, and yeah. Now actually the problem what I got is actually it's a funny thing. 5 comma 10 comma 15 comma, yes, 15, let me say. Actually here we need to press enter for getting output, but from I am always doing the shift enter, right, for running the cell. Again I done that one, that's the reason I got the error message. You need to press just enter after typing the input, then you will get these elements. I am sorry, actually this is my mistake. This is how we take the list as input from the user. And yes, now with last concept, we will end this list and we'll directly jump to the tuples concept. Yeah, somewhere we have seen the nested lists, right? Where is it? Nested list, insertion and deletion, list inputs, numerate. Yeah, nested list. Here, now let me also, we are going to solve 2, 3 techniques in this nested list. One is directly let us consider uh, A equals to, yeah. Let us consider all as nested lists. I am considering totally 3 nested lists. Let me name them as 1, 2, 3, comma 5, 6, comma 1. Yes, this is our nested list A. Now we need to perform sort operation on this nested list. If we perform A dot sort, sort means it by default for list it will keep in ascending order. So we will also print it, print of A. Yeah, here you can see you got in somewhat. Yes, just let me modify them. Let me keep it as 7, and here let me keep it as 2. Now again I am running. Yes. Now how it sorted is based on the first values. Nothing but here 7, here 3, here 2 it considered, and it sorted in ascending order. Excuse me. Based on the first value here we are performing. Now let us consider one, yeah, within same cell we can perform, no need extra cells. Now, yeah, in sorting function, those are default parameters. If you want to perform based on your choice, for example, first I want to sort based on even and odd order, like that. For that purpose, here there is a parameter called key in sort function. For key, here let me pass the parameter as sum. Some here what it does is in ascending order, it sorts them based on their sum. Now let me print A. Yes, I got in the same order. It does not mean that it is working like sort function. How this second part worked is 2 plus 1, 3, 5 plus 3, 8, 7 plus 2, 9. In the ascending order, it has printed. So, for example, for this sort function, let me say reverse equals to true, so that we'll get in the, you can observe the change. Now we'll get in the decrement order, sorry, in decreasing order, ascending, descending, yeah, 7, 9, 8, then 3. This is how on nested list we performed operations. Yes, now fastly we need to go because still I need to discuss all these things of the OOPS concept. Now next concept is tuples. Now just cop make markdown, and for list where I have written everything, let me copy those. Yes, copying all this. It is in raw. Okay. Tuples in Python. Yes. Keep it as raw. Let me paste. Yes. Now here itself I will perform modifications. Tuples are represented using this parenthesis, and elements are separated using comma, and collection. Yeah, elements can be of different data types. Indexing is same as list. Duplicates are allowed, and it is immutable. Immutable in the sense we can't change the tuple, and tuple is also ordered similar to list actually. Yes, now just let me run it. Now directly we are going to jump into the tuple programs. Yes, here similarly I am performing, right? So directly I'll copy those things. Let me say, yeah, this is what empty list representation. Copy cell, yeah, and here paste cell below. Let me delete this cell. Yes, this is the empty list representation, but we want empty tuple. For empty tuple, you will just leave the parenthesis, print L and type of L. Instead of L, let me say T here, so that it will be easy. It can be any variable, even you can keep your name, it's not an issue. Yes, you can see class tuple. Now, let me pass some of the random values. Nothing but with different data types how we performed for list. Yes, these both the cells are going to be common. Just I'll copy the cell and I'll paste the cells. Paste cell. Yes. Now here instead of list, I am giving it as tuple. Yes, let me name it as slicing in tuple. Yes, here everything is same. Same how you performed in list, similarly here in tuple you perform. But we can't change it. What do you mean by changing? Therefore, for suppose, if you will print some here L of 8, you got 99. For suppose, yeah, let me use the word L only. Yeah. If I'll say now L of 8 equals to some 6, you will get the error. The reason is tuple object does not support item assignment. It means that it is immutable. You can't update it. And one more thing is that you can't even modify it. That is nothing but here you can see. And one more thing is that you can't perform insertion and deletion operations at all in case of tuple. Here, if you want to delete, you can delete entire tuple as del. Since it is L, right? So let me do, yeah. Now if you will try to print L, you will get the empty tuple. Yeah, sorry, L is not defined because you have deleted the tuple from the memory itself. So I'm keeping errors also like this because you can understand why actually it happened like that. So now let me consider a list x comma y comma z equals to 1 comma 2 comma 3. This is what tuple to tuple mapping. Print of x comma y comma z. You will get as 1 2 3. It's not an issue. Now tuple and list mapping. How you can do? Here just you will keep change the brackets. Similarly, you can map tuple with set, tuple with list. Here itself, let me perform. Actually, now I am not giving completely comment session and all. Actually, while in video description, anyhow, I will provide notes by end of the day, but video will be uploaded as fast as possible. Here now, let me consider set. Yes, this is how it works. And in tuple concept, one more thing is also there. You can add two different tuples. Yeah, for knowing the length of tuple, you can perform a len function. Yeah, actually, our tuple is deleted, right? So let me take t1 equals to 1 comma 2 comma 3, and next t2 equals to 4 comma 5 comma 6. Now t1 equals to t1 plus t2. Now let me print t1. Yes, here you can see concatenation operation is performed here also. Because this is the concatenation and you are storing, nothing you are modifying, you are just adding. Uh, it means that you can't say it as insertion because insertion and deletion are not possible actually. To know the length of the tuple, print len of t1. One more bracket. Yes. 6 elements, so size is 6. This is how we perform. Yeah. Now tuple to string mapping, how you will do? Print of tuple of string you need to pass. Let me say Balo. Yes, you got in tuple the individual character. And similarly, we will have nested tuple and nested accessing also. So since there is not much time, I am simply copying those lines where we have done the nested list and all. Sorting a list. Yeah, nested list. Similarly, we will have nested tuple. Since we I am saying tuple, change the square brackets to parenthesis. This will give you nested tuple. Yes. Now, if you want to print I, similarly you can perform print of L of a third index and in the nested also third index. So for now, let me print 6, then keep it as 2. Yes, you got. This is how nested tuple works, and this part is tuple assignment. This is the concatenations of tuple and string. Yeah, this is string to tuple, and similarly you can also perform the sum, maximum and minimum all are same as we have performed for list. So I am skipping all those topics for now and coming to next concept is dictionary, then followed by set. Yes, now we are going to see dictionary. Let me use markdown. Dictionaries in Python. Yes, now we are going to see the dictionaries in Python. Let me copy the points. Yes, dictionaries are represented within the flower brackets, but it will be in form of key and value. Yes, elements are separated using comma. That actually the elements are in the form of keys to value. Nothing but here there is no indexing concept actually. Yeah, it can be different data types. Indexing is the wrong term used here. Can access using keys. Yes. Next, duplicates are allowed. Yes. It is mutable. Nothing but we can change. Yes. Oh, actually it is in coding part. Let me keep it in raw format. Yes. Actually, it is here there is a no concept of ordering and all. Yes. Now we will discuss how to declare an empty dictionary. Print of d comma type of d class dictionary. Yes. Dictionary means class will be dic. It has no indexing and keys will only behave as index. Now let us perform some operations. Here let me say d of a equals to 78, d of b equals to some 15. Now if you will print d, you can observe the change how we are assigning key and values. Wait just a second. Yes, you need to give them in single quotes actually. Since I am using the characters representation, here similar to indexing, here what you give those values will become as keys. But here we can't access using indexes. Remember that one. For example, let me say d of 0, you will get error because that because that key is not existing in our dictionary actually. Here, for suppose if I use 0 and then access, I will get the value which is mapped with the key 0. Here, now if I will print for suppose d of this character A, I will get 78 and d of character B, I will get 15. Key value pairs, these are known as. Now, how to get all the keys at a time? We are having the function d dot keys. Yes, here you can see dictionary keys are A and B. Now, how to know what are the values? For that, we are having d dot values. Yes, values are 78 and 15. You can also map them to the list by saying list of d dot keys. Just a second. Yes. Now you will get only that list instead of saying dict underscore values of and those all. This is how we get keys and values. Similarly, we can also have nested dictionaries and all. It is nothing but dictionary within a dictionary. And okay, for one example, let me say, yeah, let me say that there are three students, A, B, and one more student is C. Now I am going to have their marks. Their marks in subject S1 are, yeah, there are three subjects, let me consider. He got 20. And in some subject 2, he got some 30. This is his score. And now coming to the person B. In subject 1, he has scored some 24 marks. And in some, just a second here, I forgot to close it. Yes. And in subject 2, he got 20 marks. Yes. Here you need to keep comma because some next value keys are existing. For last key after you need not keep, as in list and tuples also we have seen, right? We will see say 78 comma 15. 15 after again you won't say comma, right? That's the reason we won't keep for last value comma, and he has written only subject 1. For that he got, let me say, some 17 marks. That's it. Now, yes, here you got a error. The reason is, just let me keep it here itself. Yes, still you are getting the type as error. The reason is here this A, B and C are there, right? How can you represent them directly? You must and should represent them as a character. If you have given some values to them, then you can access. So this can be in next line. Yes. Now, for suppose I want to print the student B marks, how I will say D of B. Simply I will access. I will get the person B marks. Now I want the person say marks in the subject 2. Then how I will access it? D of, I want the marks of student A. And in which subject I am interested? Only in S2. I'll get 30. This is how on nested dictionary we perform the operations. Still, what are the topics? Yes, these I will cover very much faster. You need not worry regarding them. Yeah, you can also, yes, for updating, you can simply perform as we have discussed above, or there is also one more function called update here. Now, let me say d dot update, update of, yeah, for this one more dictionary is also needed. So just let me add a cell above. For this, let me say d1 equals to. Now, suppose a new student came. Let me call him as student D, and here let me keep for him only the subject as S2. Yes, in S2 he got some 23 marks. I need to close this dictionary. Yes, run it. D dot update of D1, and now you need to print the entire D. Nothing but our original dictionary. Yeah, this D1 is going to be added to your dictionary. It is nothing but, it is, dictionaries are used in the student data storing applications. Like in our college, everything will be linked with our admission number or roll number. Whenever we give the new details like this, it will be stored in a new variable and it will be going to added in our student records. This is how we are going to work with dictionaries. Coming to next topic is set operate. Yes, regarding sets, right? Yes. Now coming to sets, sets are represented using these empty flower brackets. But actually, if you want to represent an empty set, there is a different representation. Yeah, elements are always separated using comma, and here it is a collection of different data types also, you can say. But actually we are going to perform completely on numerical values only, set operations, and we can access them. Yeah, we can just access them. There is no concept of indexing. We'll get to all the elements, and duplicates are not at all allowed. And one more thing is that, yes, it is mutable. Yes, now let me discuss, yeah, how you define the empty set is set. This is how you represent a empty set. Now just let me print s comma type of s. Yes, you can see it is set and empty set, and it is belongs to the class set. Now let me cover the topics first. 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 again I will say. If you will print now S15 will be going. Yes, because set does not allow duplicates. Now, if you want to update a set, nothing but S dot update with one more set you want to perform. Let me say 4 comma 5 comma 9 comma 10. Now again you try to print our set as, yes, 4 comma 5 will not be allowed again printed because already those are existing and no duplicates are allowed, only 9 comma 10 are allowed. Actually here now you are getting in the same order, but in set there is no concept of ordering. So let me mention it, unordered. Yes. Now length of the test and how to whether the element is present or not using those membership operator, everything is similar to all the list and tuple and dictionary. Yeah, for dictionary len function also works for knowing the length. Yeah, but what actually the main operations we perform on a set. Now let us consider s1 equals to 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6, and s2 equals to some 7 comma 9, and s3 equals to, let us consider one subset case also, 1 2 3. Yes, now to know whether uh, one set is subset or not, we are going to have use the same relational operators. That is nothing but here S3 is subset of what? S2. Sorry, S1. So you will get it as true. If you will perform the reverse, you will get as false. Because all elements of S1 are not presented. That's the reason this subset is satisfied. For subset less than or equals to, for greater than or equals to is for superset. Print of S3 greater than or equals to S1. No, actual superset should be S1. You need to write S1 is greater than or equals to S3. Then you will get as true. Yeah, this is one technique. And next, union operations on set. How you are going to perform? Print of S1 or S2. Yes, you can see union operation is performed on sets. Similarly, for intersection, you will perform AND operation. Print of S1 and S2. Since those both are disjoint sets, you will get the empty set. Instead, if you will keep S3, you will get the output as 1, 2, 3. Yes. Similarly, we are having difference and symmetric difference. For simple difference, let me say S1 minus S3. Yes. It will remove the common and remaining will be displayed. This is the simple difference. Now coming to symmetric difference. For symmetric difference, we will use this caret symbol. Yes, this is the symmetric difference. And next coming to is disjoint. Yeah, you to prove disjointness of a set based on intersection you can decide nothing but by using this and you can decide, or there is also a inbuilt function that s1 dot is disjoint with respect to what set you want to verify, s2, right? Yes, true. Because there are no common elements. If you will give SC, it will be false because both are not disjoint because ST is a subset of S1. This is how we work with the sets concept. Now, up to these concepts, everything are covered. Now, coming to conditional loops and jumping statements, we are going to cover within by within 4 minutes. We are going to cover. Coming to the conditional statements, there are simple like if, else. Yeah, first let me use it as markdown. Selection. Yeah, let me say conditional statements. Selection, comma, looping, and one more is jumping. Jumping statements break and continue you can use based on your program. Yes. Yeah, for selection we are having if, else, and elif. These are the three conditions. Just directly with an example I will explain. A equals to 3, B equals to 4. Here, now I want to know which is greater. If A if A is greater than B, yeah, here we use colon, and in Python indentation is mandatory. As in other programming languages where you want to give like that, it is not supported. Exact space and everything are needed because Python compulsorily follows indentation. Otherwise, it will give an indentation error. Yeah, if A greater than B, print A greater than B. Yes. Instead of else if, we are going to call here as elif. Elif A less than B. What you need to print? Print A less than B. Otherwise, what can you say? Both are equal. Wait, just a second. Yes. Yeah, now you got A is less than B. Now, if suppose I'll give both as equal, you can see A equals to B. This is how selection statements works. If, and else. Now, coming to looping statements, there are only two types. One is for loop and one more is while loop. There is no do while loop in Python programming. For I in range of uh, up to 4 only I have given. Then it does not take 4 as the first parameter, guys. It will take it as second parameter. Nothing but from 0 to 3 it is going to print of I. Yes, 0, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, here if you want to get in same line, here comma end equals to, like this you can represent how you want to separate them. I want to separate them by space. If not, as a string, those are combined together. Otherwise, I want to separate by using at the rate. You can see how those are separated. Yes, just let me keep it as yes. This 4 acts as the second parameter. For suppose if you want from 1 to 4 to be printed, then you need to give 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 will be printed. For suppose if you want to print from back 5 comma, yeah, if you want one also, then keep it as 0. Since you are decrementing, keep -1. We have not mentioned earlier because by default it will be +1, nothing but incrementing. Since here we are decrementing, the third parameter must be passed as a -1. Hope you all understood the for loop. Now similarly, let me say while loop is also same, guys. While n not equals to 10. Yes, colon we are going to use here. Not we are not going to use for those flower brackets. We are going to use these colons. Yes, n plus equals to 1, and always I want to print my n. Yes, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, and one more thing here, let me say if n equals to yeah, let me take it into separate example so that it will be clear. Copy. This is how the looping selection statements works. Now coming to the jumping statements, what happens is here I am printing n, right? If my n equals to let me say 7, you just break. Yeah, nothing but here 5 we printed, 6 we printed, 7 we printed, and then we are checking. Break means it will come out of the loop and there will be no further execution. This is how break statements works. Now similarly, if you want to see for continue, keep continue. Yes, now you can see output only. Yes, it went to some infinite loop. Just let me run it again. Yes, you can see it went to infinite loop. This is how we are going to work with break and continue statements. Just a second, my cell has been stuck. Yes, since my cell is on infinite loop, I am closing and opening the notebook again. Yes, I close and again I am opening my notebook, python.ipynb. Yes. Yeah, actually the reason is the continuation code of it is not saved actually. So let me keep it again. Yes, if n equals to 7, break. Yes, it takes somewhat time. If the cell has been executed, you will get the count, nothing but the numbering. Just wait for a while. Yes, now you can see output, right? This is how the jumping statements works. So now we are going to see the functions, how to use functions. So for currently, I am skipping this some unwanted things like types of arguments and all we can see while discussing in functions later on. Actually, it is not required in this lecture. And coming to command line arguments, actually this is also not needed. We will see while discussing in complete individual topics because there is no much time. We need to cover still most of the topics. Yes. Now coming to functions, how to use the functions in Python is there are two techniques. One is using the keyword def and one more is using lambda. Lambda is used in three types again, but for now we are going to see only in one type how to perform. Yes. Now coming to functions, def is the keyword for you using. and we are going to perform on factorial. So, and it requires only one parameter. And here itself I am showing recursion also so that it will become easy. If n equals to 1, you need to return 1. Otherwise, what you will return? You need not keep here else condition. Automatically, if the above step is not executed, this step is going to be executed. N into fact of n minus 1. I hope every one of you know how to perform recursion for factorial. So now let me say some random n equals to, let me say 3, and I want to print the factorial value of 3. Yes, you can see 6 is printed. How it is performing 3 went here. This condition failed. Now what it is returning? 3 into fact of n minus 1. Nothing but 3 into fact of 2 should be printed. 3 we know. Fact of 2 means again 2 goes here. Condition fails. 2 into fact of 1. Already 3 is there. 3 into 2 is 6. 6 into fact of 1. Condition satisfied, we will return 1. So 3 into 2 into 1. That is nothing but 6. This is how we perform functions in Python using def keyword. Yeah, and one more keyword is using lambda function. Nothing but a single line function actually it is. Let me say for getting square of a number I want to write a function. So let me say it as L. L equals to lambda is the keyword. Yeah. What you want? One variable on only a single variable you are performing. Let me say it as num. What's the process you want to perform? After colon you need to give. Don't think that you have given you should go to next line. Not like that. Here itself you need to give. It is a one line statement. I want square of it. Don't keep the keyword written again. Now print L of function call you are doing. Inside you need to pass some number. Let me say I want some 10 square. I'll get output as 100. This is how lambda and def are used. Actually, most probably in OOPS concept also we'll use the keyword def. Lambda is very less used because if you are doing in large applications, then for the small stuff and all, you can use the lambda function. And coming to next concept, up to here we have covered. Yeah, now strings in advanced level and regular expressions. This advanced level is nothing but, as you know, in all programming languages, these topics are not going to cover much. Regular expressions we will cover, don't worry regarding it. Yes. Now coming to, let me keep as marked down, strings. I'll provide a detailed note. Actually, starting we are having the clear notes, but from here my speed has increased, right? That's the reason. Yeah, it may take 3 hours 15 minutes. Sorry for the 15 minutes expansion because for lists I have taken so much time. Yes. Now we are going to see some of the operations on strings. Yes. For this complete yeah. First, let me take a string is equals to good. Now I am performing concatenation. Directly you can perform like this, or you can also use a function called append. Morning. I want a space between them, so let me give like this. Now if you will print as, you will get as good morning. Yes, you can see. Now here itself let me perform append operation. S dot append of. Tell me some other string. Good morning. Let me give my name only. Good morning, Balu. Yes, here you got error, right? The reason is the string object does not support the keyword append. But actually, in some versions, it is supported. I think my Python version is not supporting that one. So you can try with your own versions, or you can also try in Google Colab, not an issue. Yeah, since how we perform the slicing operation in list, it is all same here also. And we are going to see only the extra things. Yeah. To perform some of the operations, let me keep some as caps and some in middle as smaller and all. Yes. Now you can just run this cell. You are seeing some different way, right? Now, how to get the title case? Title means this G will be capital and M will be capital. Let us see. S dot T-I-T-L-E. Title. Yes. You can see the title. It became good morning. Now, if again you will print this, it will be again the older one because you are not storing it actually. Title case means it will make all the characters small and only the first one to be caps. I don't want to store because I will also show is lower, is upper, and we are also converting to lower and all. Let me say s dot lower. Yes, this is s dot lower. All are converted to lower case. Similarly, s dot upper. All are converted to capital case. Most probably, in general, we will use either this upper or title. And lower, why we use is while working with regular expressions and some of the things, we'll perform to, we'll make them to lower. And one more case where we make lower is regarding our search engines, Google search engine and all. We will convert the user queries to lowercase and then we are going to perform processing of the query. Yeah, but for now here, let me see. Yeah, S dot capitalize. What does it perform? Yeah, S dot capitalize will make only the first and foremost character to be in uppercase and remaining all to the small. This is the capitalize function. Yeah, but now let me take another string. Let me say S1 equals to 1, 2, 3. Yeah, S1 dot is digit is a function. Yes, digits are present, right? For suppose here in middle I will use some more things. It becomes false. We can also check with individual character while running in the for loop so that we'll get the individual digits and only on digits we can work, which we will see all those while working with the DSA in Python. Yeah, for now we are going to see this one. S dot is alpha. Alpha is nothing but whether if all are alphabets or not. Yeah, here you got it as wrong. But our actual is because there are also some of the special characters. Now S dot is alpha. Yes. Now similarly for combination of alpha and these digits, there is a function called is all num. Nothing but the combination of the characters and digits. Yes. Yes, you can see how the outputs are. And next, these are some of the operations. Concatenation you have already seen. Slicing you have seen. Yeah. Now reverse of a string and palindrome verification. For this, let me take two strings. S1 equals to, let me say ABA, one of the palindrome string, and let me consider one more as non-palindrome string. Yes. For reversing a string, there are some reverse functions also, but how those functions work? So always you can't use functions. Sometimes you need to understand the logic, right? So for that one, For getting reverse of a string, you will simply do similarly to reverse of list. Wait, just a second. This one of -1. If, yeah, this will give you reverse. Just first let me print it, then I will show you palindrome verification. Yes, you got in reverse order. Yeah, for S1 you may confuse whether you got reverse order or not. So let me verify with S2. Yes, you got in reverse order CBA. If you get this reverse, nothing but if S1 and ST are equal, you can say palindrome. If those are not equal, not a palindrome. This is how you perform first string palindrome verification. Yeah. Advanced level operations are covered. Now we are left with OOPS concepts and file handling. And one more thing is regular expressions. Regular expressions, actually that is not needed for currently. Uh, yeah, but we can discuss only two important questions. Yeah, for that you need to import separate package RE regular expressions. If it is not present, you need to install that package actually. Yeah, actually we need not install this RE package. It will be already available with any of the versions, so it's not an issue. So now let us consider two strings. One, let me consider a large string, nothing but original. Let me say sun rises in the east. Yes, this is our original string. Now let me consider a pattern P such that whether we'll verify whether this pattern is present or not. So let me say this pattern, uh, let me say rises. Yes. Now we will see RE dot match and RE dot search differences. RE dot match I am performing first. If RE dot match of, yeah, you need to pass two parameters. One will, the first parameter is our pattern, nothing but P, and second will be our original string S. If RE dot match, then you can say that print of pattern is found. Let me keep it in double quotes. Yes. Yeah, here you did. Yeah, let me keep it. Else print of pattern not found. Yes, you can see pattern not found. But is this right? No, it's obviously wrong. Because rises is present in our actual string, right? Instead of rises, let me say east. Then also you are getting pattern not found. For suppose let me give sun. Yes, now you got pattern is found. The reason is RE dot match matches our pattern only from starting of the string. Nothing but here for suppose you may get out that if I will give sunrises, what happens? Yeah, you will get because it follows from the starting only. If starting itself it is wrong, then you will get it as pattern not found. That's why for rises it is giving as pattern not found. Now let me copy this. Now we are going to see RE dot search. Yeah, actually it is not copied. Yes. Now RE dot search is a function which checks throughout the original string. So now it will say pattern is found. This is the difference between the match and search functions in regular expressions. Similarly, we are also having still more techniques like find all, find iter and all. So those are actually currently we are ignoring again while discussing the complete each and individual topic for nearly half an hour and more than 40 minutes and all. There we will discuss in detail and depth. But here I am covering very much faster in order to catch machine learning and One more is data analysis. Up to here, all topics are covered as per our requirement. Now we are left over with completely OOPS concept, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, exception handling, and file handling. And still time is there around some half an hour. Let me extend the time. Not exactly 3 hours it is taking. It is extending somewhat time. Now it is the foremost and it is the most and most important topic. That's the reason I'm highlighting with this much big size. Oops in Python. Yeah, OOPS means object-oriented programming. As you all know, class and object instance and all. So I'm not going to discuss any of the definitions. Directly, I will explain how to create class, how to create object, and how to work with and all. Yes, class is nothing but collection of objects and it defines the behavior and how those objects are needed to be performed. Whereas objects are instances of the particular class. Now we are going to see what are the concepts comes under the OOPS concept. Yes, class, then objects, then next thing is inheritance. Yeah, inheritance is nothing but the subclasses are acquiring the in from the parent class the functions they are using in the subclass. Nothing but child classes are using the functionalities of superclass, subclass, superclass. Nothing but child class, parent class. Again, in inheritance we are having various types. Yes. Now one more thing is polymorphism, nothing but same name, different functionality. Again, we are having in it overloading and overriding. One more thing is abstraction. One more, still there are some more things. One we can say it as encapsulation. Nothing but we'll combine all the data together and wrapping up of data. It is called actually in simple terms. Yes, now we are going to, yeah, for coming to the programming view, we are going to use only these 5 concepts. Yes, one by one, let me explain you. Yes, now let us create a class for sum and product of numbers. Yeah, function we use is class. Class, let me say arithmetic operation. So AO is our class name. Yes. The functions which we define inside the class are called methods. Yes. And the methods, nothing but the functions inside the class. Every time the first parameter should be given as self so that throughout the class it can be accessed. Nothing but in simple terms, if you know local scope and global scope of a variable, we can use only within the function like that it is there, right? But to use within the class you will use self, and there are also some of the keywords like public, private, and you can use in Python also, but we'll discuss in detail about them while discussing in the complete OOPS in Python. But since it is the complete Python programming in 3 hours, we are going to focus only on the required part. Yeah, we are going to have to wait just a second. Yeah, here not def of, here we need to give some function name, right? So let me say add is our yeah method name, and here self dot a equals to a, self dot b equals to b. Yeah, here we have given this detail. Let me print them. Print of self dot a comma self dot b. Yes, here I have given, right? No, I want to sum them actually. Yes, let me remove this colon. Yes, this is for addition we have performed. Now, yeah, For present only for addition, let me explain this complete program. This is the class name and method, nothing but function. How to use self must be the first parameter for a method. And here how do you create object is, let me say as O1 is our first object. O1 equals to AO. With class name you will represent like this. Yes, you did not got any error also. Now O1 dot, you are accessing the method add. You will get error. The reason is it it is waiting for two parameters. You can see it is not counting self as a parameter. That's why it is asking two parameters are needed. So let me say 3 comma 4. Yes, you can see addition is performed and I got 7. Now similarly, here always I am not interested in performing like this self dot a equals to a and all. So there are two things to keep in mind: constructor, and one more concept is destructor. First, let me explain constructor. Def double underscore init double underscore self. Yeah, if we give self while creating the class, you need not pass any parameter. But for suppose now I want always a comma b must be present, and here I'll say self dot a equals to a, self dot b equals to b. Now I need not perform this. Let me remove them. Yeah, these are also not required actually. Yeah. Now here, instead of passing here, I'll pass those here. Yeah, you got same I got. That is nothing but 7. This is how the advantage of constructor is. Since we have used it only with one method, you can't understand. Let me take another method. Let me say self print of self dot a into self dot b. Yeah. Now for accessing it, what you are going to do? O1 dot product. Yeah. 7 and 12. Here you can use if you are performing the arithmetic operations. But if you want to perform like only unary operators, nothing but complement, then this will be the wrong approach, because you need to remove one of the variable, because you need to see based on all the conditions and then you need to create the class, and based on that you need to set your constructor values, whether you must and should needed two parameters for all the methods, or based on that you need to perform. Yeah, anyhow we can perform, but it is waste of creating one more variable for it. Yes. Yeah, and similarly we are also having the destructors. And for destructors we use is def double underscore del double underscore. Yes, this is known as destructor. Yes, here also we will pass the parameter as self. And here let me say print deleted. Yes. Now I have created O1 as one of the way object. Let me also create O2 equals to arithmetic operation. Sorry, 0, right? AO. O capital. Yes. Now here I am passing 2 comma 5. For here let me say some O2. Yeah, 7. 3 plus 4. 2 into 5. Correct, right? Now to delete an object we are using destructor, guys. Remember that one. So let me say I want to delete the first object. Yes, you can see it is ignored. Yeah, sorry. Here deleted is as a variable, right? Let me keep it in string. Now you can see, yes, O1 is deleted. Yes, this is how it works. Actually, here it will not print actually. The reason it is printed is I have run the cell for multiple times, right? That's the reason it has printed like this. So let me say, take some new O3 and let me perform O3 dot add. Then I want to delete O3. Yes, my O3 got deleted. This is how we are going to perform. We are going to delete the object. Now, for suppose if I'll perform O3 dot add, I'll get that error because that object is deleted, right? That's the reason. But O2 is not really deleted. You can access O2. 5 plus 2, 7, you are going to be output. Yes. This is how we are going to perform with constructor and destructor. And coming to next topic is inheritance. It is the most important topic and Python supports all types of inheritance. Yes. Inheritance. Yeah. Actually, Python supports the 4 types of inheritance. Let me keep it as markdown only. Yes, guys. Actually, now we can complete all the concepts within our time. Now, time is 46, right? By 55, we will be covering this polymorphism and abstraction. And these two concepts, I will try to cover by 3 hours, 10 minutes actually. 10 minutes might be taking more. Yes, mark down. Yeah. In inheritance, we are having 4 types as I told. Single level inheritance. Second is multi-level. Third one is multiple. And the fourth type is multi-path. These are the 4 types of inheritance possible. Let me explain one by one. So for that, we'll all obviously perform. We need 2 classes. Let me say class A for one and one more B, class B. For performing single level, 2 are enough. Yes, now we'll see one by one. Yes. Now in class A, there will be a constructor def double underscore init double underscore self and one more will be name and one more let me say it as age. Here initialize as self dot name equals to name. Next self dot age equals to age. Yeah. Now here one more method I am using def display. Yeah. And here for display again the first parameter will be self. Since self dot name comma age can be accessed as you have seen here, here again I did not pass the self dot a and self dot b. Only self I have kept, right? So here also similarly I am keeping only self. Now we are what we need to display print of what I am printing in one line. Let me say name I am going to print name comma self dot name. And in the next line, let me say I'm going to print age. Self dot age. Yes. Now coming to class B, as I told, yeah, let me name it. Let me keep it as raw. It is single level. single level inheritance. Single after multi-level we will see directly. Yes. Again here class B will also have one of the constructor self comma name and age are same. First two parameters we are going to give. Yes. Now what are the extra things you want? Name is there, age is there. Let me say some contact number. Contact. Yes, these are enough. Yeah. Here already you have done for self dot name and age, right? Yes. For inheritance here you need to keep in parentheses. Class B is inheriting which features? Class A. That one you will represent in this format. Yes. Now here you need not mention again self dot name equals to name and self dot age equals to age. Instead you need to since those are already performed in A, you need to do it as A dot double underscore init double underscore of self and self must be passed. Name and age are already done. So now what is the new one? Self dot contact equals to contact. Yes, this is now coming to one more method. Let me say def of show. Here I'll say only self, no additional things. And here already we are having display here. Those will display. How can you get it? Don't use self dot a dot display. Here we have used a dot, right? Similarly here also a dot display you need to perform first. Display of self, let me say. Then what additionally you are printing? You are printing self dot contact. So say contact comma self dot contact. Yes. Now let me create a object O equals to. For class B we need to create. Remember that one. And three parameters I need to pass. Let me say name is ABC. Some age is some 20. And contact is some number we need to give, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, yes. Now, if you will do O dot show, what will be the output? You can only see. Yes. You whenever this method is called, it will go initially to A dot display. Then from there you will get name and age will be printed. Then you will come back to this line and contact is printed. This is the single level inheritance. Now I am copying the same code for multi-level inheritance. For speeding up, I am just fastering the video. Yes, here you can see multi-level inheritance. Similarly, how we have done B with linked to A, here we have done C with linked to B. Here like that you can continue so on. And here you can see I have called object I have created for C. I am accessing show method of C, right? So it will perform this one actually. What here it is there B dot show it is calling. When we'll go to B dot show here it is mapping to A dot display. So name age are printed. Then contact is printed. Then come back here location is printed. This is the multi-level inheritance. Now since we are not having time so much, I am going to show the PDF notes for multiple and multi-part inheritance. And try exception and files also we are going to cover. Yes. Where it is? Yes. This is the multiple inheritance. Yeah, it can be achieved actually using the super keyword. Here itself you can see output also. Coming to the multiple inheritance, this is the uh, class base 1 and base 2. It is nothing but multiple is nothing but here let me explain you theoretically. Yeah, multiple is nothing but there will be initially parent class 1 and parent class 2. Now there will be a subclass known as S, which is a child of P1 as well as P2. Nothing but the features of P1 and P2 both are accessed by our derived class. That's why their base one class we are saying, and we must choose super keyword so that we can perform multiple inheritance. And here you can see base 2. And now derived class you can see both we can pass multiple here. That's the reason it is known as multiple inheritance. Multiple parent classes, base 1 and base 2. And these are constructors, and here again we need to use the super keyword. And in super keyword, the first parameter is not self, first parameter is the class itself. For derived, it is derived, for base 1, it is base 1. Second will be self, and you will be calling the constructor, and you will print as derived class. Now, when I create an object that is nothing but d for derived, now actually it will go here actually. Now, this coming to here, here we are going to access super class constructor. That is actually since we have used the super keyword in base 1 class, first the output will be base 1 class will be printed, then base 2 class will be printed. Once those two base 1 and base 2 classes are over, now we will go to this print statement and we will print the derived class. This is multiple inheritance. Single level, multi-level, multiple. And the last type of inheritance is multi-part. This multi-part is somewhat different. Here how it is class student, and from this is derived, and another thing is also derived. Those both together forms one more. Nothing but the hierarchical inheritance, if you know. Here nothing but, uh, okay, just let me keep it. Yes. Now, how hierarchical inheritance is, there is only a single unique parent class, and from this parent class we are having two subclasses S1 and one more is S2. This S1 and S2 are children of P, and there is also one more class. Here you can say this bottom part again it is going to work as, let me name it as D. Yes, this is the hierarchical inheritance and also called as multi-part inheritance. It is similar to the above one, nothing but similar to multiple, but this multi-part, the single parent class is accessed to two different classes, and uh, these both functionalities are acquired by one more subclass. Nothing but this line 2 and 3 perform multiple inheritance, but before that one, these two classes are acquired from the parent class, and this can be directly accessed. Here we need not use the super keyword. Here you can see deaf student. Student is acquired by ACP, academic performance and extracurricular activities. And then CGPA more than 8, and in this more than 60% I have given. And class result is nothing but for ACP and ECA the child class. And here I have told def eligibility. Yes. Now I have created the object and I am calling the method eligibility. Now here itself when it come it is going to self dot name. Name nothing but this one we are accessing. That's the reason name so on dots has been printed. Once that is over, it comes back. Academic performance method we are calling. CGPA more than 8 I am printing. Now again coming back, calling this method, it goes here and it prints. This is how multi-part inheritance is. The different in this Python is only with multiple inheritance because it must and should need a super keyword. Yes, with this multiple inheritance concept is over. And coming to next topic is, yeah, this all, yeah, overloading and overriding. That is nothing but same name, different functionality. By seeing itself, you can understand. Yes, here we are overloading minus operator actually. Actually, for polymorphism, we are unable to spend so much time. I will explain in the next upcoming video lectures. Those are actually not required for now. These are some of the inbuilt things, like how we are having constructor and destructor, like that, nothing but init del. Similarly, we are having get len for length, get item, set item, and all. We will see in the upcoming classes. Yeah, overloading, overriding a method. Yes, now coming to the abstract class, let me explain with an example. Yes, here you can see class. Yeah, for vegetables, this example is, here you can see class vegetables, right? Oh, time is completing. Let me extend it for 5 more minutes. After that, I will end this session. Yes, coming to class vegetables, there are three methods, and we need to raise them as not implemented error. One is shape, one is color, and one more is taste. Because the reason is for different uh, class vegetables will have different values. That's the reason here we need to keep like that. Now coming to class potato, we are performing similarly like inheritance concept. Potato veg for chili is also from well, one of the vegetable. Let me consider. Yeah, again same methods we are calling here, but for all here we have given self. If you want with parameters, here we are also having length, breadth, height, and all. But let me explain it to complete it faster. Yes, overloading of method. Yes. Now here in potato, same functions, but I am returning the returning the that particular vegetable qualities. Nothing but it will be round in shape, brown in color, and somewhat salty, sweet, and something we can say. For chili, I am saying it will be in somewhat like arc shape, green color, or let me say some red color, written spicy. Now I am creating a object for potato initially. So I will call p dot shape, p dot color, p dot taste. Then I am going to get the details of potato. I am not going to get this error. That's the advantage. These common methods we can access for all. Nothing but similarly for price in kgs, and those all we can perform actually. That's the advantage. And in our calculator application, we can simply use with length, breadth, and height parameters one also. Nothing but dimensions. Here you can see, right? Polygon we will say. And if it is four-sided, it can be either square, rectangle, if both sides are equal and all. Based on that, we can set them. For circle, we will have only radius like that. And what are the things we require dimensions, area, one more is perimeter. Dimensions, here I need two values. One is length and one is breadth. Area is L into B, perimeter is 2 into L plus B. Same thing I have given. For circle, self dot R, nothing but radius. And referring here, pi r square for area, 2 pi r for perimeter. And similarly for triangle also we are having. For right angle triangle it is actually. Now how do you access this? Here, here itself you are asking input. That's the reason it's not an issue. You can pass empty parameters. That's the reason, because dimensions are not fixed, right? If circle, I will take only one. If triangle, I will take 3, 4. Based on our polygon shape, I am going to take. This is how abstraction works. Now coming to try exceptions. Yes. Still how many? Yeah, exception handling. And one more is file handling. Yes. 3 minutes has been completed. Next. Yes. Coming, excuse me. Yeah, coming to try except block. Here we will be having, yeah, one is for zero division error. Yeah, exception occurs whenever there is a runtime error, not compilation error. Nothing but the error is caused due to your program values. That's the reason you will get those errors. Nothing. One of the example is zero division error. Yeah, in try you are trying to display. if you get some exception, if you give only except, though any exception occurs, this will be printed. Here specifically you are getting the zero division error. So I am printing denominator can't be 0, program terminated. And after that exception is successful. Now I am giving 15 by 0. Can you try that one? No. That's the reason try block fails. And here it goes except. Yeah, the reason why you did not got execution of try block is due to zero division error. That's the reason. Yeah, the title case and the spaces must be same. These are not the names given by me. Also, there are user defined exceptions we will see faster. Yes, zero division error, you will print and execution success. Now coming to multiple except block. Not only zero division error, it can be value error, type error or some except. Now here, yeah, one by one we will check in order. Same in conditional statements. If, and then else, right? How else statement is used in the conditional statement. Similarly, here we are having except. Here try is nothing but like if condition, except is else condition. These all are only for else if conditions, you can say in general terms. Here itself your condition is satisfied. That's the reason you are printing it. If all these conditions fails, then the single except, nothing but this an unexpected error is going to be printed. Now coming to yeah. Finally, will block will always be executed. Yeah, yes, here you can see within try we are, you can also keep outside and anywhere you want. Finally, block is always executed. Right. Print finally block example. Yeah, actually it is being printed. Here my, yeah, one by one line it comes. Remember that one. It is a sequential programming language. Now in Ella only three elements you are trying to access the seventh element, nothing but L of 6. It is not possible. So it goes to except block. But in middle there is finally. Finally will always be printed. So that's why you got cleanup done. Then this one. Yes, this is the important thing. User defined exceptions. Class my error of exception. Yeah, you are deriving the exception class because you want to declare, so you are going to use the functions in it. So this is the constructor self dot v equals to v you have given. This is for string we use. We are replicating the self dot v. Now you are trying user defined exception. You got it printed. Now raise my error of 20 you are saying. Here my error is your error name you are defining as my error. Even instead of my error you can keep our own names like Balu or any names you can keep. And you have passed the parameter 20. Yeah, now self dot v will be 20. Now you are going to return it actually. But actually it becomes an error so that accept my error as z, print exception occurred with value and you are going to print e. That is nothing but our value 20. This is a user defined exception. Yeah, these all are not required actually. Now, yes. Now one more topic which we missed is the last concept, nothing but file handling. Actually, we can discuss it directly. Uh, okay, just let me code it actually. So because the notes is not available actually. Yes, let me extend the class up to still 7 more minutes. Once 15 minutes is completed, we will end this one. Yes. Now let me consider a variable. We are trying to open a file. Open is the function. And the first parameter must be the file name. Let me say file1 dot txt. Yes. And in which mode you are trying to do? You are trying to write it because no data is present actually in it. So that one you have given, right? So now f dot, you are going to write something into the file. What you want to write? Hi, Balu. This is what you want to write. Now, after that, you must and should close the file also. So, f dot close. So, to know whether it worked or not, you can write print. Anything you can write here. Let me say done. Let me run it. Yes, you got one function. Text IO wrapper takes exactly one argument. So, yeah, okay. Just let me remove them. Yeah, like this I want to give actually. Yes, you got done. Now, where you will verify whether file1.txt is added or not, go to home. Here you can see file1.txt came 4 seconds ago, means just now. Here you can see hi comma balu. What you want to write is printed here. Now, if you want to write multiple lines, nothing but, wait just a second. Yeah, this is our program file. For writing a single line, you will use this right. For suppose if you want to write in multiple lines, just let me copy these lines. Yes, th- we are performing writing mode itself, but here you will make use of some list data structure. Yes, hi Balu, you will be in one line, and in second line, how you will be in second line, and in third line, hope everything is fine. Yeah, you need to pass lines as values in a list. And now, how you will perform is there you have written f dot right. Here you write f dot. Instead of write, since you want to write in multiple lines, this is the function. Write lines is the function, and you will pass your list. Now, yeah, since yeah, file one is already existing. Let me take it as file two. Yeah, you got it as done. Now go to home. Yeah, just let me close this file one. Yes, file2.txt 3 seconds ago. Yes, you got all in the same line, but you did not got them in different lines. So how to get them also you need to take care. Multiple things you are able to send, but those are coming in the continuation line. That's the one of the drawback you can say. Here in already existing file, if you will perform the operation, what happens? Let me show. Yeah, again you have done. So now again open file2.txt. Yeah, it is in the same way. There is no change. How many times you will run also, it will be the same. Let me run. Yeah. Now, instead of file 2, if I keep file 1, whether it will be modified or not, let us check. Let me close file 2 and open file 1. Yes, you can see my complete data is overwritten. So the latest one will be stored. Now how to append? Yeah, append we will see, reading we will see. This is the writing part in a file. Now how do you append? Append means for already existing data, you need to add some new data. So let me perform this actually. So hi Balu is only present. Now I will append this new things like how are you, hope everything is fine in file1.txt. For verification, oh, it came here, just a second. File1.txt once you open, yeah, only hi Balu is there, right? Now go to this file. Now we are performing append operation. Further, f equals to open off. What is our file name? File1.txt. I want to increase my data. File1.txt. And for that mode you need to decide here. For appending A we will say appending mode f dot write. What you want to write in a single thing you need to mention. Already hi ball is there, right? How are you? Yes, only this one I want to append. Now again f dot close I'll do. No need print statements again and again. Now file1.txt, just to refresh. Yes, you can see hi Balu, how are you is appended. If you want space, just go to the code. Here you give space. Again you run. Now you can see how are you came two times because already it is appended to file 1. Now you are not modifying, you are keep on appending. Now we'll see the last functionality. With this I am going to start this video lecture. Nothing but reading, performing the reading in file. For this f equals to open, we will do open of file1 dot txt. In which mode you are opening? Reading mode. So R you are going to take and you are going to print of f dot read. After that f dot close. Yes, you got hi Balu, how are you? It works for a single line. For example, let me modify this one. Let me save it, Control S for saving. Now again go back. Now if you click here, actually here you got directly, but sometimes you won't get in such a easy way. Then you need to use read line. Yeah, sorry. Read is used for reading the complete thing at a time. If you want to read line by line, you need to run this multiple times. Now you will get second line. Similarly, if you use read line will give you line by line. Whereas read function will output you the complete text of the file at a time. This is the complete things which we have covered throughout this session. We have seen all of them. Still, there are more things to discuss in some of the regular expressions and here regarding functions and regarding this exception handlings and all. Still, there are more concepts which we'll discuss one after the other in the upcoming sessions. So, we have completed the entire Python programming in 3 hours if we'll remove some of the time with my introduction and all. Yes. Hope you all understood. If you are facing any doubts or any issues you are facing, you can drop in the comment section or you can directly contact to me via WhatsApp or email. And I am also going to provide a clear notes by tomorrow. In description of video, you will directly get it. And I link it in website as a course in order to get certification. Hope you all understood and enjoyed this session. Thank you.